I've like known for a long time that money isn't the answer to happiness, but I'm still chasing it.
Best financial advice you ever received?
The one that stands out in my mind was what my buddy Bill Perkins said to me when I was riding the Bitcoin train up. He said, if you're not a buyer, you should be a seller. And I was like, well, I don't want to buy at 17. So maybe I should sell at 17. And then it went up to like 19 and I sold at 16.5 on the way down, and then it crashed all the way to 3,000. So it was like, I made a great sale, but I made it because of what he said.
You remember how much you made off that? When I read it in the book, like 23 million?
I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot.
How about worst financial decision ever made?
I mean, flipped a quarter for like 3-point-something million and lost that, but I don't really like regret it too much because it was in the action. And sometimes like, it's okay to like lose a little bit, it's okay to like give action. It's okay to like up sometimes. Like,
you feel like you need to in those situations?
Sometimes, if you just beat somebody over and over and over again, they have an expression. It's like you can shear a sheep many times, but you can only skin it once, You beat somebody up too much and they might never play again. There's times when I felt like maybe I should, or maybe I should give more action, or I was able to make some like pretty big bluffs also with that in the back of my mind. Like, oh, it, even if he calls, like I'm giving him some action. Like it'll extend, it'll increase the longevity of this match. I knew that the moment I stopped playing him, I could celebrate the win, but I couldn't until. But that's why I posted that 10.8 wire transfer from him, is almost because I wanted it to like piss him off and him to stop playing me. It was such easy money, it was so big. But at the same time, it was scary to play that big because he kept on wanting to go bigger and bigger and bigger. It was like towards the end, we were buying in for like 5 million or 10 million a pop,
You wrote, eventually nothing I purchased brought me lasting joy, yet still I couldn't stop doing it. Explain that.
Pleasure functions like a drug. You have to do more to get the same hit, the same pleasure spike. You have to do more to get that. Like I had to for 3 or 4 girls a day to feel normal. If I only fucked one girl, I felt like a loser. It was the strangest thing.
How do you course correct?
I took a super hard right, and I got a girlfriend and locked myself in the house and wrote a book. I'd been going hard for like 11 years or so, and then every like 3 years I would have to take like a year off, and I would have to just kind of like reset, or it would kill me. Kind of like a little bit scary to me if I'm like going back, because every time I go back to that shit, I go further than I did before. So I'm kind of headed down that road now. Let's see what happens.
And why do you say that?
I was monogamous for like a year and a half, and then I like broke up with my girl, and then I don't know, I fucked like 7 girls in 2 or 3 days or something. I don't know, like kind of like going back. I've like known for a long time that money isn't the answer to happiness, but I'm still chasing it.
You came to the realization you were documenting more than living. What made you realize that?
Like, so in 2014 and 15, I was just partying, getting up, banging a bunch of chicks, having fun. Like, it was like real rock star shit. And I'm also really competitive. So I looked at Instagram almost like a video game. Like I wanted to outdo what I did before. And you would see it, like the video views. I mean, dude, I was getting like over 40 million views on my videos. Like nobody gets that. Like The Rock doesn't get that. Like Kardashians don't get that. Like nobody gets 40 million views a video. I had 30 million followers.
How do you fix that?
Well, I stopped documenting. Like I posted, I think like 3 or 4 times in the year. I really just like kind of got off social media. And it felt good. Social media was just, man, it's something that like can suck your life out, Instead of enjoying the moment, you're like worried about capturing it, and I see it. I see it in people all the time. They're just like so caught up in like, oh, does this look cool, or can we get a pic of this, instead of just like being in the moment. I just kicked all my addictions this last 2 years.
Therapy?
The book was my therapy, man. It forces you to look at yourself. Like there's no way you can write an autobiography and not stare in the mirror, It's like you see all the reasons why you did things, you see the mistakes you made, you relive the embarrassing shit,